Jaramogi Oginga Odinga. It is painfully truth, but it is a truth we shall prefer to deny on a daily basis. This is, as William Shakespeare said, from hour to hour we wrote and wrote as we all approach our graves. When the moment actually arrives, it's always painful, though somehow inevitable. It is always untimely, however old we may be. Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, on such a day, 30 years ago today, reached that moment when he went home to be with the Lord. He was eulogized, one of the Kenya's greatest nationalists. Throughout his life, Jaramogi remained a voice of reason, standing taller than his compatriots in reputation, performance, and respect. Unlike Shakespeare, the good people do lives after them, and the bad is often interred with their bones. Jaramogi was a good man. He was a principled man. He was a courageous man. He did and said what he believed in. He uplifted the afflicted. All his life, he was concerned about injustice and unfairness in society. He devoted his entire life fighting for justice. Jaramogi was never a tribalist. He fought against negative ethnicity by championing the fight against poverty and liberation of all victims across Kenya. His politics was driven by ideology. For all Kenya politicians, Odinga was the most committed to the notion that Kenyatta should be the first president, and there's no evidence that he ever contemplated changing him for presidency. Jaramogi qualified for the second presidency in Kenya, not because he was a Luo, but because he was one of the best nationalists that Kenya ever had. While he disagreed with President Kenyatta, Jomo, the freedom fighter, will always be his hero. In fact, on account of his unparalleled courage and admission of Kenya's leaders' failure to take Kenya to the promised land, and at the time of Kenyatta's death, no other Kenyan qualified more than becoming the second president of Kenya. We commemorate Jaramogi, the Kenyan president, who never was. He never ruled, but he reigned. Long live Jaramogi, long live our liberator.
Happy New Year, everybody. Happy New Year, everybody. I want to thank you very much for attending this occasion. I'm called Betty Oginga. I'm the last wife of Jaramogi Oginga Odinga. I don't say I was the last. I am the last because he's still living with us. And we as Africans, we believe that his spirit is hovering around us. And we want to thank God for the life that he led. We know he left us 30 years ago, but it's just like the other day. To us, he's still living. You come to Nyamira, you will always ask us where he was buried. You go there for blessings. How many of you have come for blessings in Nyamira? And did you succeed? So we want to thank God for his life. We thank God for his life. And I want to say that he was a Christian. He was a devoted Christian. Though people believed that he was not natural, he used to tell us that he goes to heaven through Bishop Okolo. And I believe he went to heaven, and that is why we are all still alive. Even though we have lost some of our members in the family, but we don't regret because we know it is where everybody is going. I want to say that he used to have when he went to church, he used to have the Holy Communion, whereas the Anglican Church did not allow the polygamous to do, but he used to get it. And there is a song in Luo that he cherished so much. And to me, it was a lullaby song. He was down, I could sing that song, and he now smiles. This is Are toka wotho eyo madhi malo ndalo duto kalamo pile mondo ruoth oting'a malo moloyo. That was his lullaby song. And he was a very strict man as a family. You knew him as a politician, but us, the two of us, we knew him as a husband. He was very strict. I can remember one occasion when my daughter was in Nia Girls, was sent home for school fees. She came, found Mzee at home, and then she was down because Mzee wanted her to go back to school immediately. He was given the money. When I came back for lunch, she was crying. She told me, you know, now my father wants me to go back. I told her, you take your uniform and dip it in water so that you may not go, you will go tomorrow. When I came, Mzee asked me, what is that girl still doing there? But remember, he had sent somebody to go for canes. Very big ones. He wanted to beat me. Now, when I went at 4, he told me that today you will feel the wrath. I must cane you. Why don't you allow the girl to go to school? Luckily enough, it was late at night when our governor came and took him. They went outside the country. He stayed there for almost 1 month. Immediately he came. I thought that that was a gone case. The first thing he told me that today, it is today. Have you lost my canes? I told him, no. You know, ukeko molo. Why? I was lucky. I was not caned. But that means that he was very strict. He loved education. We used to say with so many people, if we get a desperate child, you could just tell us that there is a boy in your house or a girl. Take her to school. We could not grumble. He taught so many. Now, when we asked him, he said that, you know, in this world, God created a human being in a different way. The mouth he uses to eat is the same mouth that he uses to say no, he never eats in your house. So be ready for those things. He made us very strong. And I want to thank God for his life. I thank everybody for standing with us for all those years. And I pray that you keep standing with his children because that is what he fought for. And he died fighting for it. Ago erokamano kabisa ni jowa mosechung kodwa kuom higni 30 gote. To maeri unyiso ka uchung kod yawuote. Gi nyithinde manyiri, gi wedene, kamoro amora ma gintie, aneno ka kata kiwacho ni ng'ato ne unrelated to Jaramogi. Ineno ka koro wang'e kendo yuore. Ka en ng'ama osekoni ni get out, koro kendo come in. Mano agoye erokamano ni Nyasaye motimonwa mano. Kuom mago duto, awacho ni wantie kaeri ji ariyo, Nyasaye nowerowa ji ariyo, ma ane matin to nyako ni. Nyako maduong' en bende omoswe. Erokamano. Oh, wow.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Daka winyi kuwalo maber. Koso higa ne be ok ber no. Anyika Susan Oginga. Jaramogi ne en ng'ama jahera. kendo Jaramogi nokendo kapod watindo. Kuonde kapod watindo gi nyako ni.
Nyaka sana.
Koso kude. Omiyo wadwoko nu erokamano mar odiechieng' ma kawuono mar bedo kawuono kuom 30 years ma Jaramogi osetieko e lowo. Onge gima ang' nawach maduong' ahinya, adwoko ni mana wede Jaramogi mobiro konyowa rapar mar mzee kaachiel kod family mag Jaramogi motimo ber modiechieng' kawuono ni. Onge gima ang' nawach, nyamera ne osetieko na wach te. Koro gima ang' nawach onge. Erokamano. Osetieko.